Hello, hello, Iron Hackers. Welcome to today's session. My name is Valentina, and I'm part of the marketing team here in Ironhack. Very excited because we have done an amazing series with our dear host today, Silvia. Hey, Silvia, how are you?
Hello,
Welcome.
Valentina. How you doing?
Very good, very excited because it's just so crazy how time flies. And we have done until now, this is our fourth session
Yeah.
already. So, guys, I highly invite you to watch all our previous sessions. We add in the resources web where you guys are able to see the different sessions that we had in the past. So feel free to dig into it. Sylvia have prepared an amazing session for today because, of course, this is the last one. And today we're going to talk about cybersecurity must-knows. So before we start, I would love to highlight some things, okay? So the first one is that this webinar, it's been recorded, okay? So feel free to go and grab a coffee in case you need one on this Tuesday afternoon. Or maybe if you guys maybe need to leave earlier, feel free to do it tomorrow at this same hour. All of you will receive an email with the replay, okay? In case that you guys don't receive the email, it is in spam because it happens a lot, okay? All right. Then I would love to mention also a few features that we have here in the platform that we're using today, all right? Because we're gonna use some of those features during this session. So the first one is speaker's bio, okay? So a speaker's bio, it's all about our host, Silvia, okay? Who is her, what she does, why she's here, and the most important things, contact points with her, okay? So feel free to connect with her on LinkedIn. Feel free to send her an email. Feel free to reach out for her. She will be more than happy to connect with all of you, okay? Then we have a very important session for today, which is our Ask Your Question Here section, okay? I know that during the, if during the session you guys maybe have a question, normally you guys usually put it in the chat. So instead of putting that in the chat, I would love to ask you if you guys can put it on this specific session because it happens a lot that the questions get lost in the chat. So it's kind of like one of our best practices for the webinar. All right. Then we have related content, okay? Related content. It's also very important because Silvia has not only prepared an amazing session for you guys, but she also reached out for resources for all of you, okay? In this related content, you guys will find the presentation that Silvia is hosting today, but also, as I said, different articles, different graphics, and so on, very related to today's session. So feel free to dig into it, okay? And then, of course, we have our dear chat. Okay, I can see that some of you already find the chat. I can see Daute. I can see TJ. Not sure what's that name, but welcome all of you guys. And in case that you guys haven't seen the chat yet, no worries. This happens a lot. It's because you guys need to activate the chat. Okay. So if you guys are seeing in the toolbar that you guys have below your screen, maybe on your mobile or on your computer, the first icon, it says Ironhack chat. So if you guys click on it, it would immediately show up the chat, okay? So we would love to keep this chat very, very active for today's session. Feel free to make any comment, any suggestion. We would love to keep it very, very active to, like have conversations with all of you, okay? And also, if you guys can share with us what you guys are based on, that will be amazing. And let me start. I'm based in the Canary Islands, specifically in Fuerteventura. And Silvia?
I'm in Gran Canaria. As you can see, it's barely kind of hot in here. We are both strapless because it's super hot in here these days.
Yeah, it's very weird because with all my colleagues, I can see that they're wearing like all like sweaters in their meetings, and I'm the
Yeah.
only one like super fresh and like
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, we have a very nice weather here, guys. We invite you all to come to Canary Island. Here's amazing. All right. So just before we start, I would love just to give a little bit of an intro about Ironhack in case that maybe any of you don't know those, okay? So basically, we are a tech school, okay? We are very disruptive and we are teaching in-demand tech skills of the future, but today, all right? So we are doing this basically through bootcamps. Bootcamps are very intensive and immersive education, all right? Very focused on learning by doing. We have basically two type of bootcamps. We have a full-time bootcamp that lasts 9 weeks, and then we have a part-time bootcamp that lasts 24 weeks. So as you guys can see by the length of the boot camps, this is what I'm saying, like it's super intensive and super immersive. And also because for us, it's very important to be outcome focused, okay? We really want to make sure that all of our students are job ready to thrive in their tech career of their dreams, or even to build their own product. So we make a lot of focus on career. Okay, we have an entire career week and an entire career department to support all of our students. So yeah, and we basically have 4 different courses. We have web development, UX UI design, data analytics, and cybersecurity, of course. And then, well, we are basically worldwide, guys. We are in 9 different campuses around the globe, plus remote. And of course, that allowed us to reach many, many, many people. Until now, we have over 10,000 alumni, 10,000 Iron hackers around the globe, which is amazing, and we are very proud of that. And of course, that allowed us to have a very supportive global community. And actually, that's kind of like the main reason why we usually have very, very international audience here in the webinars. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to share that with all of you. And now I would like to say, let's get started. So let's start our final session, Silvia.
Yeah, thank you very much, Valen. It's a pleasure being here and kind of sad it's the last one. Today we're going to focus in the overall cybersecurity office. But first, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Silvia. I've been working in cybersecurity for 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years now. I've been in many, many places. Now I'm currently working for UNICC, which is a UN family. But I've been located in many places, as you can see, Vueling, Dreams, SAP. I've done a lot of cybersec related jobs. So feel free to ask me anything you want related to my job career. And now let's begin and starting from the basics. What is a security office? It's a group of people that are experts in cybersecurity, and they are experts in a certain field in cybersecurity. So they work together to build a more secure environment and more secure infrastructure in a company. When we say security office, sometimes I try to say or tend to say this joke because I think that my mom thinks I play video games all the time, which I don't, and I never do. The society thinks we are like the weird people in the dark places with maps and everything, but what we do is more like Googling certain things, because we can know a lot of things, but we don't know all of things. So we tend to use Google a lot, and it's kind of funny because, yeah, the society feels us like in a way that we are don't. But you can find sometimes the second option, sometimes you can find them, but it's more like for aesthetic thing, not for a useful or really day-to-day job thing. But yeah, it's funny. In a security office, we have many roles, many places, and many specific people that work together. As you can see here, there's yeah, kind of overall structure. There is the warriors that they used to call, or they like calling them the warriors, are the technical part, are the blue teamers, the red teamers, and the incident response team. Blue team is the defensive one, as we talked previously. They focus in preventing all the attacks and seeing what is going on inside the security about the organization. The offensive security, that they are the ones who attack the company, their own company, to see how it's built and to see if there are kind of holes in the organization, to prevent it and block it. And the incident response team, that the ones that run everywhere when something happens. They are the, sometimes we call them when there's nothing we can do, and they just cry and say that everything is awful. But yeah, these are the most technical aspect of the security office. Second, we have the critics, the ones that are, yeah, they are the ones that are always telling us what to do, but they are not the managers, but they are the ones that you have to do this in these certain ways because we have to meet this framework, or we have to meet this auditory. They are the ones with the PowerPoints and the reports, but they are also part of the security office. And then we have the visionaries. They are the ones that build and make up the architecture of the network in a company. They put the IT controls, they control the non related security people that work in the company. They are responsible for all the laptops and servers and everything that is related to IT in a company. But they are also part of the security office because they know how the security works in a company. So they implement those security programs. But, well, there's a lot of people working in a security office, some more technical than others, but the security office needs a leader. So that's the CISO. The CISO is the Chief Information Security Officer. It's a senior level technician. Most of the time, it's a senior level technician, and it's a person that has a strong and a huge background in cybersecurity. It has its own certifications, and sometimes they are, yeah, the oldest in a security office, because in security offices they tend to be really young people. Not all companies needs to have a CISO, because maybe the company is not that big enough to needing the role of the CISO, or the 100% of the time the role of a CISO. So many companies hire external companies CISO as a service. They pay for 100 hours a month, and they have the CISO over there for 100 hours a month, but it's not fully dedicated to to that company, because paying a CISO can be really expensive, because CISO can do the technical part, they can do the network part, they know barely everything about security and everything security related. They are the ones that signs auditions. They are the ones that put the face if something happens. So yeah, they are quite expensive. So not all companies can afford having a CISO. Which are other roles that CISO has? They manage the team. If there is no dedicated CISO, it's not the problem. They manage the team when they are in the company. It's okay. They also are the ones, well, not specific the ones, but they like to be in hiring and recruiting people, because they know what will fit the company, and they know what the security office needs. Because you can have, for example, 4 red teamers and only 1 blue teamer. So maybe the CISO will know that you will need another blue teamer, but with which specific um, knowledge that blue teamer will need. So yeah, they manage the team. They also plan ahead. They try to plan ahead and establish the path or the framework that the company is going to work. Um, they also sign the security reports. They are the ones that go to that important meetings with the C levels, because remember, a CISO is a C level in a company. It's the Chief Information Security Officer. So they are the ones that defend us, the security officers, against the other C levels. Because sometimes, for example, there's a budgeting problem, so they have to fight for the budget against the CTO or the CFO, or all the C levels. So they go to the C levels meetings and they report them how is the security status in the company. And also they are the ones that propose to the other C levels all security trainings or security programs that the company needs to follow, not only for the security personnel, just for the whole company. And last but not least, they tend to be the vendor relationships, because in the security office, we tend to use a lot of tools and systems that needs to be paid for. So they attend to those meetings. They try to find the most useful tool for the company, trying to keep it in the budget, um, and see if they can find better solutions or cheaper solutions with the same technical aspects for the tool, for example. So this is a overall that a CISO does in day to day. Sometimes you can have a beer sometimes with them, but these are the main roles of the CISO. But the CISO is not alone. The CISO has a DPO sometimes, not always. The DPO can be also hired as a CISO as a service. They can pay for a certain amount of hours of a DPO and external DPO, and they can hire the DPO for assessing the data department once a month, make control of the organization once a month. If there's an audit, the DPO can be there, so they can hire for more hours. If there's a data breach, the DPO needs to be there. The DPO also not only create, the creation can be the ones that the critics in the security office, but they supervise them. And if there's any doubt related to data protection, there's a DPO to assist the company. So the CISO tends to be at the same level of the DPO, because all data it's related to cybersecurity. All sensitive data is related to cybersecurity, and the CISO main task of the CISO is keeping the data protected, and it's also the main objective of the DPO. So they together try to work building in a more security environment in a company. So focusing in each group, the technical and the operations, as we were saying, we have defensive security, which are the blue teamers. We covered a lot of blue teaming in the past sessions. They are the ones that control all the network, all the infrastructure, all the environment in the company. And they try to protect it. They try to see if everything is going okay, and they have alerts and all related stuff regarding the security in the company, and if it's needed, they warn the related team. We also have the offensive security, which are the red teamers. They are the ones that hack. As all know, the word hack means, they are the ones that hack. They have tools, and they have other tools that made them able to perform analysis or penetration test to a company to see if it's built secure. And often to see if the blue teamers in their company are able to see them. Because if we are not able to see our mates in a security office, we won't be able to see if an outsider is performing bad attack. And also we have the incident response. Their main role is contain, eradicate, and recovery from a security incident. Sometimes the containment is done, so they just try to eradicate and recover. Sometimes not containment or eradication is possible, so they just try to recover because maybe a database is compromised. So they try to make a rollback before the attack was made and see if the whole information has gone. Yeah, barely this is the technical and operation part of the security office. These all these people work under an umbrella that is proposed by the police. Well, what happened here? It doubled. Yeah. Yeah. Well, all these people work under the umbrella of these other people. They are the ones that are responsible of the policies and compliance in the company. Um, there is the security governance team. They decide the security framework we are working with. They decide if we have to meet any legal requirement because, for example, here in Europe, we have to follow GDPR, which is the most tight and secure data protection law enforcement in the world. So yeah, these people make sure that all legal requirements, all standards are applied. For example, it's not necessary, but many companies have it. They have ISO 27001. It's information security standard. And yeah, this is the people that are aware of them, and they tell the other colleagues how to implement those frameworks. They also perform vulnerability management because, as you can see in companies, they have a lot of systems, a lot of servers, a lot of laptops, devices that needs to be up to date because if it's an update, it's because of a reason. Most of the time, they just cover some small bugs and small problems or misconfiguration, but other times they patch a security hole. So they are keeping up to date all the systems and recommending the other teams to perform updates in their systems. Um, because I've worked with plenty old-fashioned systems, and believe me, it's a nightmare because it's always vulnerable. And if you have something vulnerable, it's a really, really big security hole in your organization. This copy again. What happened? Sorry, it copied a lot of. Yeah. And we have the architecture team or the architecture part in the team. The network controls, sometimes they are not specific cybersecurity technicals, but they are people that know a lot about networks. So they are the ones that implement NDR, which is a network defense and response. It's like an antivirus, but more complex one and specific done for networks. They also perform IT controls. They are the ones that allow or don't allow users to install some certain things in their laptops or corporate devices. And they also build up the security program. Well, not always, but they build up the security program, which is placing the firewalls where they need to be, placing the DM sets, the militarized zones in the network where they need to be. Yeah, they are the network geeks, as sometimes they are called network geeks, because yeah, they put things in some places and sometimes they are not that needed. And okay, again and again. So if you want to become a security officer, but you don't know in which place you want to be, you can join Ironhack, because here you will find and you will have a deep knowledge about all roles in a security office. You can try them all. You can try being a blue teamer, an incident response. You can try to be a CISO for one day, for example, and see if they fit you. Because sometimes I got asked, why do you know you wanted to be a blue teamer? I didn't know it. I tried. I was in security governance. I was a purple teamer, which is a mixture between blue team and red team. And I tried being a blue teamer, which I liked, so I focused in that path in cybersec. But you can try them all. You can try the one that fits you the most. And also, which is very important, is to train job interviews, because depending in which position you are getting hired, the questions and the specific interview is going to change. They not ask the same question, for example, a blue team position for an incident response position, because the main role in a day-to-day work will be completely different. And of course, work together with other roles. You won't be alone in a security office. So you need to know how your mates in other roles in a security office will work, because you will need to work with them. And last, there is ISACA, which is a worldwide organization. They have a lot of certifications, but if you want to become a CISO, these ones are the ones that you need to get. Not all of them, but as I said in other webinars, certifications are like I mean 20% of the job interview, because if you have a certification, they will ask you about the certifications. And yeah, the most common one in the cybersecurity field is the CISA, which is the Certified Information System Auditor. This allows you to make security auditories, and it has to be renewed year to year, I think, and it's costs a fortune. And CISM, which is System Information Security Manager. I believe all CISOs have CISM and CISA. The other ones are more specific one for the role you are working, but not for becoming a CISO. But yeah, the most difficult one is the CISA one, and as I think the easiest one is the CISM. But I'm not sure because I have none of them, to be honest. Yeah, I think I've covered all of the. Yeah.
Awesome, Silvia. Thanks a lot. So we do have a couple of questions. So I will push the questions to the
Yeah.
slide so you can take a look, okay? One second.
Yeah, I have split water in my table, so no worries.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Guys, always use a covered glass, because yeah, it's not secure.
All right. We have the first one from John Macari.
Just in between. Well, most of cybersecurity experts are computer science experts, or they studied a computer science degree. Most, not all of them, but most of them. And there are many entry level positions in many companies. So if you don't have the experience, but you have the knowledge, or the knowledge required for that position, maybe they can give you an opportunity, because that's why I got my first cybersecurity job. I have no experience, and I got the job because they gave me the opportunity. I had the skills and the knowledge. And yeah, I believe that 2 months and a half is enough. Not enough to know everything about cybersecurity, but to know about everything that an entry level needs to know beforehand starting their job. Because I think now I know a lot, way a lot more than I knew when I was starting my first job. But I had the basics, and then you will get more of the knowledge by working. And in Ironhack, it's not just learning; they just you just do things that are similar to job related positions. So you will learn, I think, more than I knew before my first job. So yeah, I think it's enough to cover all the essentials.
Awesome. And also, Jan, the same person asked this as well.
Skill gap for some. Can you please explain what do you mean about skill gap? Because yeah, software engineers, I think they are the programmers, that the ones that programs everything. And well, in Europe, I don't know if there's skill gap. Uh, can you please type it down? Because I think I don't get it.
All right. So, in the meantime, I will push another question.
Mm-hmm.
Meantime, Jan
Sure.
is explain us a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, so we have a question and it's related and cool because I was also about to ask this. How much is a fortune for certs?
Well, it's not a fortune if you have to pay, if the company pays for it, which many companies do. So yeah, it's not that much. I think it's between 700. I think. No. Yeah, around 7,000.
7,000.
No, sorry. I sometimes I make I mix it because 700. Yeah, 700.
700.
Around 700.
Okay.
They are there are ones that are cheaper, but yeah, many certifications start at 100, 200. Around that are the most recognized ones.
All right.
But yeah,
And
many companies
then,
pay for them.
okie
Do
doke.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it. There are many, and inside a security office, there are many manager positions which are not the CISO. For example, there is the SOC manager. SOC is the Security Operations Center, and there is a SOC manager that manages all the people that work in a SOC. But yeah, it's not needed. If you have it, it's a plus, but it's not that needed.
Awesome. And then next one.
Um, well, governance is a quite rough word because you tend to be seated making reports and making policies, procedures for every part of the company. Of if you're working in a multi company, you're making policies, procedures for all of them. But it's a place that where you can understand how security works in companies, because there you have to perform analysis for audits, you have to make reports about the security maturity of the company, you have to do risk analysis about the risk involved a certain part of the company. So there you get a deep knowledge about how security works in big companies. But it's not my place. I think I loved it, but it's not my place for be till the time I retired. So yeah, but it's quite interesting.
All right, next one.
How much frequency? Well, security training, it's needed to be day by day, not a full security training where you go to a place and someone teaches you something, but you can train yourself in a day-to-day basis using open source and web pages that allows you to perform analysis. Well, it depends of in which part of the security office you want to focus, because for example for red teamers you have capture the flag or try hack me, and capture the flag, no, sorry, hack the box, hack the box or try hack me. And for blue teamers we have blue teams lab, or the other one which I don't remember right now. Yeah, and these are places where you can just train yourself in labs. And the certifications, you have to update them when they are up to date. Some of the certifications you have it and you got it and you have it forever, and other certifications, you have to update it every year or every 2 years. So it depends on the certification. Yeah, thank you. Let's Defend. It was Blue Teams Lab and Let's Defend. These are the places where blue teamers can um, train themselves. What was it that you like the blue team? Well, that's a rough question. I what I liked, I think it was like how the details matter a lot, and how a small thing that could be nothing made a huge difference in the security of the company. And see what is going on and trying to decide which is malicious and which is not. I think it's the most challenging part of the job, and that's what I like the most. And that every day is different, because every day the alerts are not the same. So every day is different. There's no one day the same like the other one. Never.
All right. Then the next one.
I'm a Sophia. Um, if you have the knowledge about programming, you can try to test yourself in uh, the places I've mentioned before, like for the red teamers, which are Hack the Box and Try Hack Me. These are places that allows you to perform an attack to labs that are controlled and separate and legal. Please be ethical. Do not hack things. Hack things that can be hacked, please. And also, if you think you're good enough, you can try doing book bounty in the companies that allow book bounty.
Awesome. And then Jan, the guy who did the questions before that we didn't understood,
Mm-hmm.
he said that by gap of skills, he means lack of people who work in the file.
Oh yeah, in Europe, well, in not only in Europe, in the world, we need many hands for working in cybersec. We are less people working in cybersec than the needed. So yeah, if you want to make a change, Cybersec is the best place because yeah, it's job for there's place for everyone.
Totally. The only file who doesn't have, well, the unemployment rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. We
All
have
right.
many missing hands here.
Totally. Okay, and the next one.
What does a day in security? Oh, well, it depends in which place you work. I can explain my own experience. Day to day is quite simple, but I mean when I say simple, I mean like it's always using the same tools and analyzing alerts. Sounds simple, but not always the alerts are the same. Not every day have the same amount of alerts. And sometimes there are outside risks involved of the day-to-day work. For example, the war. When the war happened, everything in some certain areas had to change because Russia and Ukraine had kind of issues related to cybersec and other issues, of course, but some issues related to cybersec. So those changes has to be performed. But yeah, and on a daily basis, blue teamers perform alerts analysis. We create rules because we need to check, for example, a new indicator of compromise that appeared because of something. So we need to create a new rule to trigger our alerts. Yeah, that's it. That's the day-to-day job in a blue team. It's super, super, super. Um, I made that super sum up, but yeah, kind of.
Awesome. And our last question, actually, I think this one is very interesting. I will push it now.
Um, the mistake I made. Oh, well, my personal mistake was believing I could hack. Because I super bad at it. I tried and I tried a lot. But I'm super bad at it. But it's not a big mistake because I learned a lot of things. I learned how attackers and malicious hackers perform the attacks to be more a better blue teamer. Because if I know how they work, I can be better at protecting the company.
Awesome. And that was actually our last question. So yeah, guys, let us know if in case you have a last one. But in the meantime, I would love first to invite you all because we have an amazing, cool session on Thursday about hacking, the hacking story. So I will let the link in the chat, okay? In case that you guys are interested, this presentation, the host will be Daute, our amazing instructor on cybersecurity. So I highly invite you all to attend to this session. All right, and we have a last question, Silvia, before we wrap up.
Are we moving from a bigger? Moving from a bigger risk is I don't get the question.
Manuel, the question is not quite clear. Could you please
Yeah,
maybe
are we
clarify
moving?
your question in the chat? All right. Let's see what Manuel says.
Yeah,
And
as
also,
Doughty is typing, yeah, I think I get the questions. We normally say that the most weakened part of the security in a company are the users, because they click where they don't have to click, they download the things they don't have to download. So it's the weakness part in a company related to security are users. They plug pen drives they don't have to. So they do things that they are not aware of that are dangerous. But keeping that in mind, the systems are also vulnerable. The systems are also places where the attackers can come. So yeah, we have to keep all of that in mind and try our best to have a secure infrastructure. We can do security trainings, we can do vulnerability analysis, we can do, yeah, we can perform everything what is on in our hands to try to build a security infrastructure.
Great. And yes, he actually put the question here, and it's exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thanks a lot to all of you. Thank you, Silvia, for this amazing presentation, for the amazing series. Basically, it was
Thanks
it
to
was
you for the
awesome.
opportunity.
No, I mean, I'm sure we add a lot of value and knowledge to all of you guys, and I really hope all of you enjoyed the sessions. I'm actually sure you did because of the comments and so on. Thank you for being so supportive during these sessions. And just before we wrap up, I would love to invite you, in case that you guys want to take the leap into cybersecurity, to actually apply to our next cohort of our cybersecurity bootcamp. I left the link in the chat. In this link, you guys will be able to apply to the cybersecurity bootcamp according with your location, your language, and so on. So feel free to dig into it. And if you guys are interested, our admissions team will contact you with all the right information. And yeah, that's basically it. I really hope you had an amazing afternoon. And thanks a lot. Thanks again, Silvia.
Bye.
Bye, all.